Congressman, is the White House correct not to put the focus on any one group or religion?
Well, we have to be honest with what's going on here. ISIS's formation and raping and pillaging and domination in Iraq and Syria is radical Islam in its practice, and they use that in its practice. Boko Haram, that slaughtered as many as 2,000 people, strapped bombs on a 10-year-old girl and sent her into a market to kill another 20 people. That is based in radical Islam. And so if you can't at least recognize the problem, it's pretty hard to get to a solution. I think there's a way through this, but you can't just say and wish away what it is. This isn't an isolated incident. This isn't a few people who have embraced a violent ideology. There are lots of people who are doing this, and it is becoming a growing problem. So I think you have to call it what it is. It doesn't mean that you can't use the more moderate influences of Islam to push back on this, but you're never going to get to that conclusion unless you call it for what it is.
Julie, I want to get your reaction. Does it matter what the White House calls extremism? Because singling out one group pose a threat?
I think in some ways this is just sort of a side debate because, given everything that's going on, the most important thing is that we stop terrorism and violent extremism. I completely understand why the White House did this, because the Countering Violent Extremism Initiative, which isn't really ours, we're sort of following the British lead and the European lead, is about engaging communities of interest, whether it is Muslim, whether it is Islamic, whether it is Christian, whether it is black, white, Asian, whatever it is. And so if you call it Islamic terrorism, people who are Muslim are going to feel very, very much like their religion is not reflected in this initiative. And so I completely understand that if the initiative is about engaging these communities, targeting it as Islamic terrorism seems like a bad way to start. It seems like a bad way to make those overtures and to engage these communities who are predominantly peaceful and understand that it's the bad elements within their own communities, whether it is here or abroad, that really undermine their peaceful religion.
Congressman, I want to talk to you a little bit more about France, because an al-Qaeda-linked group has promised more new attacks in France. How serious are the French taking this latest threat?
I think they're taking it very seriously, and just one point of difference here. It's not Islamic terrorism. It's radical Islamic extremism. There's a huge difference, and I think that's part of the problem. If we don't start targeting the problem, we're never going to get to a